Minnesota program. Jerry filling in for Gordy, who's taking a, don't tell him I said this, but he's taking a much deserved vacation.
No.
I think very soon being on a plane, flying down to visit his uncle in Texas. In studios, Kymn Anderson, Executive Director of the Faribault Chamber of Commerce. And you won't tell Gordy either that I said that.
I will tell him. And you know what else? I think it's wonderful. Gordy is a hardworking guy, and it's like a rare day that he is not here behind the microphone.
What's really funny is it happened to work during this time, so he got it organized. Then he found out his uncle was moving, so he gets to help him move when
Oh
he's
my
down there.
goodness. I'm not sure about that being good fortune or not, but
Well, I think his uncle's like 90 years old,
oh,
still in
how
great
nice.
health. His aunt is still living, so it's kind of nice that he can help him
That's
out move
very
a little
nice.
bit. So,
Very nice.
anyway, not very many times we've been in studio on the air together.
I don't think so, Jerry. Although we work together
A
and
lot.
and continue to work together, as you're a great member of our Chamber Ag Committee, and we've got a few things that we work on with that. But it's great to be in studio with you and be on the air with you and talk about some things coming up with the Chamber.
Well, really, a chamber in a local community is kind of the lifeblood of the community.
Thank
Organizes a lot of events. It's nice to see we have such an active chamber in the Faribault area.
We do. I really want to commend the many, many volunteers that make things happen around the community, and they do that by their involvement in the Chamber and by using the Chamber as a conduit for some support and some ways to draw people together just to make things happen. And you know, that's one of the real benefits of an active chamber is you can get something out of being a member. You can. I mean, you can get referrals and you can get, you know, some growth in your business, and you can gain resources and studies and information. There's a lot you can get.
And you know what else you can get? Just some fun time when socializing.
Right, right. Because that's the opposite side of it, is that you can get something for your business, but you can also get something done through the chamber, as not necessarily looking at what's in it for me or how will my business grow out of this, but that's important too. But the other side of it is being involved in things that just benefit the quality of life
The
and
community,
add to the
yeah.
community's benefit and help other businesses perhaps by being part of a networking event where entrepreneurial people are there or startup businesses are there, and those more experienced can provide a you know, valuable lesson or an interesting perspective, and there's
Just
a lot
sitting
of
there
value
having
in
a
that.
conversation and say, what do you think about this?
Right? Or how do you handle that? Or I've not run into that problem before. There's even businesses that have many, many, many years of experience, decades of experience, provide gain value, but also provide value to the others that they meet when they're involved in things through the chamber.
And I can think of one example of a smaller business, maybe just getting going. Maybe has just a couple employees and all once has those human resource issues with all of the laws. Well, there might be a chamber member there with hundreds of employees and a resource director there who you can kind of visit with.
And you know what? That happens every month at our human resource peer group meeting where.
Oh, what a segue!
Well, thank you for that, because those educated, certified HR professionals are there in the room with people who are like, I don't even know how to start, and it's a great way to help one another and encourage people to grow and develop their businesses.
Well, we have to take a break for the markets here in about 30 seconds. After that, we'll talk about what's coming
I've got
up.
a long list of things I'm eager to talk about.
So I'm
And
not tied
hogs
to the
today are
studio
down
all
on
day.
demand and certain
So
cash business so
Still
far
work.
today is steady to
It's
higher.
not-
Report
there's
was
a lot
Remind
of
me
fun.
when afterwards tell you the Mike Morrison story. It worked for about 18 years.
Okay.
The advice I got from Mike when I started.
Mike.
John Perkins, Brownfield.
The market update sponsored by the KDHL Agro Boosters, including Ag Power Enterprises. And that is your John Deere dealer. They have locations in Owatonna, Hollandale, Belle Plaine, also Osage and Northwood, Iowa. My guest in the program today is Kymn Anderson, Executive Director of the Faribault Chamber of Commerce. And Kymn, before the break, we talked about some of the basics of the chamber and what you do. And I suspect there are folks listening in other communities and saying, yeah, that's kind of what our chamber does too.
Right.
It's
I just heard Rod talking about the Cannon Falls Chamber and the things that they're working on there, and it's kind of one of those sayings in the chamber world. If you've seen one chamber, you've seen one chamber, because each chamber is uniquely positioned to help the community they're in. And the volunteers and the leadership of our chamber sends me and my staff in a direction to do things that might not be important in another community. Right now, you know, our involvement in the 2040 vision, things with our downtown, a lot of work that we're doing right now on helping connect businesses to the schools for helping students understand the life of work and career development and that kind of thing. Those things, some of those things are important everywhere, but not every chamber does the same.
And all chambers are involved too in having a voice or someone who keeps an eye on what's going on at the Minnesota legislature or maybe in Washington D.C.
Right.
I always kid the people I know, corn growers, soybean growers, pork producers, Farmers Union, Farm Bureau. I'm a member of all of those because I'm a little busy and I don't have time to keep an eye on what's going on, and the chamber's kind of tied in too, keeping an eye, right?
It's important to many of our members. I can't say all, but like with anything, there are segments that find it very important for us to be on top of what are the legislative issues that are coming forward, so that we can be there on behalf of business to either support or challenge a new law, a bonding bill, you know, when there's bonding bill opportunities that will help Faribault, we want to be there and promote our community and how that can help. When there's additional mandates or taxes or concerns that legislators bring forward and our members say, hold on, we don't want that, we want to be part of the conversation to make sure that we're representing our members in those conversations. We do that a lot on a local level, county, city, school board, and the state legislature as well, with the help of the Minnesota Chamber. We don't really tackle too many national issues unless it becomes something that bubbles up from our membership, like, hey, there's a couple of members that ask us to follow a particular issue, then we certainly will do that.
One of the things that is a bit unique about the Faribault Chamber of Commerce is the Agribusiness Committee. Agriculture is hugely important to every community in the state of Minnesota, whether it's Minneapolis and St. Paul or a little town of 500 people. But agriculture is important, but not that many have an agribusiness committee like Faribault does.
That's really true. There are a few standouts that really do a great job in that. Winona is one, and Faribault is another. It's really no secret, and you're a great advocate for agriculture, understanding how agriculture really fuels the economy here. Even our largest employers are ag-based employers. You know, you don't process turkey without turkey farms, and you don't have a turkey farm without turkeys getting fed, and you know, so the ramifications of the ag industry is really, really huge in this region, in this rich farming area. So we have a active ag committee, and you're a part of it, so you can chime in here. But one of the important things that committee does is arrange for students to go see a farm, a real, true, modern working farm.
Yeah.
It's not the
It was taken for granted when we were growing up. Either you lived on a farm or you had friends that lived on a farm, so you were out there.
Or you'd spend the summer at Grandma and Grandpa's farm or whatever. And many students have absolutely no connection to a farm and have almost no understanding of how the food gets from a farm to their kitchen or their plate. So that's part of the message that people like you take to the students, mostly third graders in our community, and help them understand that everything that comes in the packages that they open in their kitchen started on a farm somewhere.
Right outside of town.
And they don't know what they're looking at when they're driving, you know, to wherever they're headed, and is that a cornfield or a bean field, or is that what's growing in that big field? You know, in my youth, and certainly any generation before me, it was, you know, a meaningful drive, because Dad was always checking the crops and whose crop was doing better than the next one, and it's a little different for young people today. So having that committee help them understand, not only by visiting them in the classroom, but by making sure that they actually see a modern farm. And I stress modern because a lot of times they've got this image of this little
Little red barn.
And we want them to understand that this is an industry, that this is a big business, and so we want to make sure that we help them see the really the dynamics of a big farm and the equipment and the technology.
And one of the things I always like to point out when I'm visiting the kids in the classroom is, whatever career you like, whatever you like, we need you in agriculture.
Right.
I use an example of my wife Louise, who's an occupational health nurse for Genio.
Right.
Well, guess what? She wouldn't have a job there if we didn't have the
If-
farmers out there producing
Right.
turkeys, and we wouldn't have any turkeys to
Right.
process. There wouldn't be any employees. You like computers? Let me see. I think we're more dependent on computers in agriculture than just about any industry.
No
You like
question.
chemistry? Guess what? We need chemists, and so
Yeah, there's
the career
absolutely
paths is-
everything that you can think of can be connected back to some agricultural connection, and I think it's important for people to learn that. So I'm really happy to share with you, and you especially, because you've been one of those people that visits the classroom and goes out to the farm and helps the
But
students
yet I wonder
understand.
sometimes too if we would have had that into the classroom in today's world without having the reputation of the chamber.
Oh,
You know,
certainly.
that's how
I
we
mean,
were.
that's absolutely part of it, is that the chamber is a trusted
Mm.
local organization that opens those doors and makes those kinds of things happen, and we're really pleased about that. We're also doing later this summer with the Ag Committee Family Day at the Farmers Market. So once again, yes, it's a farmers market, but do the families that come there to buy the tomatoes and the zucchinis ever get a chance to see any livestock or to understand how things grow? And so we bring some fun games, books, resources, and help families understand that connection. Another thing that the Ag Committee does is the Best of the Best Awards,
Oh,
and
what a
that's
great
coming up in
program.
a couple of weeks, and that takes place on the first Wednesday or the Wednesday of the county fair, and it's really a wonderful program. We definitely want to thank our sponsors who help make that happen, the Rice County Farm Bureau and the Nearstrand Agri-Center and the Rice County Fair Board. Their support of this program helps us honor some great people.
I call it celebrating agriculture.
Absolutely. So we talk about Century Farms, we talk about conservation awards, we talk about
Farm Family of the
Farm
Year.
Family of the Year,
And
then
of course then the Hall of Fame.
yeah, entering a new honoree into the Rice County Ag Hall of Fame is a pretty cool program, and I think it just gets better every year as people receive the honor and learn about it, and then want to come and support and encourage and celebrate with the folks that are being honored.
And before we move on, the challenge to other folks is get an agribusiness committee involved, get involved in your chamber, and it doesn't have to be just like ours. You can, like he said, made the point, each chamber is a little bit different.
Right.
You can tweak it to how it fits for you.
Right. I'll make another plug for the Ag Committee, is that there's room on the committee for more people.
We
that
need
wanna-
more farmers involved
More
in production
farmers.
agriculture, and people specifically in agribusiness involved.
I agree with that completely, and a lot of times farmers don't see themselves as a prospect for chamber membership because they don't think of themselves in the same way as
I didn't either, for
town
18 years
business.
after college, I was a farmer. I was involved in production agriculture. After I started at KDHL, guess what? My world of agriculture has gotten a lot bigger.
Right. No, thank you for that. And so we would welcome, and I know that farmers are listening to you, Jerry, so we would welcome them just to sit in on a couple meetings, see what we talk about, see if it's a nice fit.
See how everybody picks on poor innocent
Right,
Jerry.
oh, poor Jerry's always getting picked on, but we love that part of it too. There's a great
The
camaraderie.
point is you can have fun and laugh, and you know what, you can be involved in a lot of things or just a few things. Like Art Madsen, thanks to Art, he's really taken over the Hall of Fame program.
He
He's
works
an awfully
really
busy
hard
guy.
on that.
This is what he
Kind of
has
the one
time to
thing
do.
that he wants to work
and,
on,
so
right.
you can pick the little piece.
Right, that's exactly right. And so we welcome you. And
Want
if
to
you have
go along and
questions
visit a
about it,
classroom and help me talk a little bit?
right,
Yeah.
and we've had other volunteers that do that go visit the classrooms and help out on the farm tours or provide their farm as an option for a tour. So there's a lot of ways to get involved, and we do have a handful of actual production agriculture farms that are members of the chamber, and we'd welcome more.
Well, we better move on just a bit before we run out of time and talk about some of the other things the chamber is involved in. Before I get to choose the next topic
Okay,
just a bit.
go for it.
Main Street, all the activities of Main Street. It's so much fun driving around and seeing activity and people on Main Street. Not that I don't like the mall and the other areas, but you know, I like the Main Street.
Well, there's something really true about the fact that the downtown of any community is really its heartbeat. You know, it's really it's where people gather. I mean, certainly there are other great shopping areas in a town the size of Faribault, but the downtown is the origin of the community. It's where the first settlers decided there was to be commerce taking place, and so the history that we have here is important, and equally, if not more important, is the current state of new businesses coming in, great investment being made in businesses downtown, the
buildings being restored and brought up to modern standards, but yet looking historic.
Looking historic. I mean, there's just so much. And I really would say hats off to our Main Street committee. Main Street is a program of the chamber. It's with the umbrella of the chamber.
Kind of like in a subdivision like the Agribusiness Committee, yes.
Very much the same, except it's got so many different areas that it's involved in. So you talk to Nort Johnson pretty frequently on the air about Main Street. That's one of his areas of responsibility. But the Main Street program is really a dynamic program, and that's the organization that's helping people link to resources that help with those renovations, connect with one another, and plan things like the wonderful car cruises, and Crazy Days is coming up, and all of those fun things, as well as helping people understand how they can fill empty buildings, move their businesses downtown, use their building for multiple revenue streams. I mean, there's just a lot of support.
And sometimes too, maybe, gee, I really should have an elevator, or gee, I really should bring, you know, a sprinkler system in. Well, sometimes if you're a quote historic building, there's some federal cost share funds. Well, the Main Street or the chamber might have that network of levers to pull to help someone.
Absolutely. The support and encouragement of the Main Street program is really important, and I have to say that our city offices are very, very responsive to those things in our community. So folks like Deanna Kennan and Kim Clausen at City Hall are great resources for understanding how you can improve one of these historic buildings downtown, use the tax credits, use the resources, and you know, make it fit in and be beautiful and restored in a way that makes it modern and useful for you in the downtown.
If you haven't been downtown in maybe a few years, maybe you're from a surrounding community, I'll never forget a few years, maybe it was a barbecue contest or the chili contest. Anyway, Joy Culpepper, who was really a big supporter of the chamber in downtown, covered a live broadcast, and my job was to just go to different businesses, get on the air. And I go, boy, I had no idea. So many unique, different types of businesses in downtown.
There really are, and so I thank you for encouraging people to do that. Come on down. Beautiful day like today, just park your car and go for a walk and enjoy the many small businesses that make the fabric of our community so beautiful. It's just, there's lots of fun businesses. There's well over 100. I think Nort will tell you this number for certain, but I believe it's like 130 small businesses that are right on Central Avenue.
That many? I didn't realize there were that many.
It's a big part of our community, so it's
all types of shopping, places to eat, very unique. Places where you can get an adult beverage if you're 21.
If you want that, right. Yeah, so thanks for mentioning that. One of the things that I'm really happy to hear is that our Main Street program is partnering this year with the Faribault West Mall on Crazy Days.
Oh.
So a community-wide Crazy Days, not just the mall in downtown, but any retail or service business in the community, no matter, you know, if you're in a strip mall off the beaten path or have, you know, those are all welcome to participate in the Crazy Days fun this year. And I'm not going to be able to say much about the details, but watch for emails, watch for information coming from Main Street and from the mall.
No, we
And
haven't missed it yet for the summer. It's
we
coming up.
haven't missed it yet, and businesses for sure want to be attentive to all the details of how they can be involved in some of the fun things that are going to be going on during Crazy Days this year. They already have Crazy Days planned and then a Crazy Days encore, which will focus a little bit more on the back to school stuff. So lots of good things going on.
It's fun too when you drive past downtown. You just see one or two streets are closed off with the cooperation of the city and the
Yeah.
police department is there.
You know, there's something fun
Yeah,
about to
something's
happen.
going on.
Yeah.
You see tents and maybe a stage set up.
Right.
Something's coming.
Always some good things. Our car cruise nights have become very, very successful. They've had to increase the number of spaces available for cars and add different parts of just because it's been so popular. So we're really excited about that. The next one is coming up July 15th. So looking forward to
Just
that
had a
as
thought.
well.
We should bring a little bit more class to the car cruise and have a classic tractor cruise.
I
with
just
it.
knew you were going to say that. If you can make it through a parade, you could make it to a car cruise as well. Say a couple other things I'd like to touch on before our time is over. Next week we have our annual golf tournament, and we're really thankful to the many sponsors that help us with that. It's an important part of our activities that we do as a chamber to, first and foremost, to give members an opportunity to spend some time together. And you know, there's a lot of jokes told about the business that gets done around golf, but at a chamber golf outing there's a lot of conversations about business and a lot of conversations about community, and those connections and relationships are really important. So we have our main sponsor for our golf tournament this year is Corporate Recognition. And if I can mention another radio station down the street, Cows and Crew Radio are also part of that. And you know, I know you golf now and then, Jerry. So maybe,
No, I'm not.
you know, the thing about the chamber golf, it's not about who's the best golfer.
it's
It's
about
about
him.
getting together, and we do it in a best ball scramble format, so everybody has a
In
great
fact,
time
I
with
believe
it.
the last time I golfed is when you were here, and it was like Merchant's Money or something like that, we call that, and I had to golf, and it was really embarrassing because I couldn't get the ball to go as far as where the women teed off, and I would have been happy for a slice or a hook.
You
I'm not a
are
golfer.
going back 20 plus years then, my friend. So
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, we just want to say thanks to
But
all
when
the
is that
people.
golf
It's
tournament?
next Monday,
Next
the
Monday,
11th,
okay.
and you know, so if you have any pull with the weatherman, let's make sure it's a good day and
I'll get on my hotline to the
get
top.
get
now.
that going for us. And it's just fun. People take the day and spend some time just visiting, and it's always nice to do that on a golf course. So thanks to the 18 sponsors that sponsor the holes, and the people that bring beverages, and the sponsors that help make that event.
I've been relegated now to driving the beverage cart.
Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. Lots of fun there. You know, and we're also looking ahead to the elections. You know, we do a lot of activity around the elections. We'll be doing our candid conversations and our forums, and we invite all of our candidates for office to attend our networking events so that people
I've
can
seen
get to
too
know them.
that it seems like you're just trying to educate, get the people out there so the voters can get to know the different candidates, but I've never seen an official endorsement of one over another. That's kind of not your role.
We have the authority to do that, but our board has always chosen not to, figuring that our role is better as an educator in this area.
Inform voters and they can decide.
Right, and encourage voting. I mean, getting out to vote is a very important civic duty, and we definitely encourage that. And we're not shy about saying what our priorities are as a business organization, but we won't endorse a specific candidate. Instead, we talk about what our issues are important to us, and then we listen to how the candidates respond to that and let people make their own decision. So be thinking about the Chamber for a source of information on our website and at our events coming up this summer and fall about candidates.
We only have about 2.5 minutes left. We better get a plug in for the great crew you have there at the Chamber. And it's also nice to have such a great facility where our agribusiness committee can meet and lots of people can meet there.
We do have a beautiful building, and that too is thanks to the many members who originally built the building, and then the others who contributed to the expansion of it, which is now 10 years ago.
That long?
That expansion was added. And so maybe people are not aware that we do have a very nice conference room that is a good facility for
all the modern gadgets.
Right, everything you would need to facilitate a meeting, whether it's a business training or a meeting with clients or a training session or that kind of thing. Many of our members do use it, but I'll put it out there too that it's available for people. And the crew at our office, I already mentioned Nort Johnson. He handles tourism and Main Street. And Barb Larson has been there with me for a long time. She and I have worked together many years. Amy Kramer the same. She's been great. Tasha Chamberlain is new at our front desk, and she's just been a tremendous addition to our staff. And we also would want to mention that we have a young lady working for us this summer that's a high school student, and she's helping us catalog and scan old photos and kind of helping us put together some of our historic documents. So
some of those things
really fun.
Nobody really has had time to do, but know it should be done.
Yeah, there's boxes and boxes of slides and photos, and so she's going through that, and I want to especially mention a thanks to her because she's been a real pleasure to have around.
Kind of like a summer intern.
Yes, exactly that. It's been really fun.
About a minute left, Kim.
Well, there's a lot going on, so I really want to, encourage people to look at the Chamber website. It's faribault.mn.org. Take a look at the events calendar. That'll help you find things like the summer concerts in the park and the Best of the Best event, which is the 20th of July. It'll tune you into things like the farmers market and committees like the Ag Committee and others. So there's a lot to be noted on that website. It's
and
a great
maybe
resource.
Sign up to get the newsletter I get occasionally too, right?
Yep,
you don't have to remember to get that.
We send out a weekly emailed newsletter. It goes primarily to members, but if there's a community member that wants to be in touch with that, we're happy to have them on the mailing list. And so consider the Chamber a community resource for business and for the community at large, and for improving the quality of life in our community. We're proud to be doing that work.
And you can check on the website or do it, like I say, the old-fashioned way. Stop by or give you a call.
You're always welcome to do that.